What were the conversations that you heard about the politics in the country at the time that you might have seen, especially in North Carolina?
North Carolina, it was, our senator was Senator Jesse Helms. He was a Republican, very conservative. And we were having problems starting in India around 82, 83. And then I got a call from somebody that there's going to be, Vincent Janelle Singh in the Golden Temple, and that there's going to be problem, there's going to be an attack. And so we called Senator Jesse Helms. We knew him, and we had a fundraiser for him a couple of times in our own house. I think he was chairperson of the Foreign Relations Committee at that time. And then, because we were vocal about what was happening in Punjab, just on the human rights aspect, there were people who were complaining, people of Indian origin. And so we had the FBI visit us a couple of times. So we went to call Senator Helms, and he said, come to Washington. So Senator Helms and, we met Mr. Thurman, he was South Carolina senator, and we said, Tejpal said, if I'm not doing anything. Just because somebody is saying I'm doing somebody or supporting something without proof, I do not want the FBI at my place of work. It's a doctor, there'll be no FBI coming to you ever.
Wow.
But when people start complaining and fear, this is fear mongering and all that. So, we got involved with supporting congressmen and senators and being part of the political scene. Not to influence anything, but understanding here we live, this is what our rights are.
Yes.
And how we have to be good citizens.
Yes.
And how we have to engage ourselves. I have an interesting story. I was an election judge, and one of the county commissioners comes in with a bunch of African American of his people who work for him, and he's walking straight into the booth, and nobody is stopping him. So I said, what's going on? He says, oh, that's okay. He goes, every year he does that. I said, he can't do that. He can't go with his worker to vote.
Right.
But they were afraid of him. So I went over there, I took his name. I'm not going to say it on...
Of course.
That I said, you can't do that. He said, who said that? I said, I'm an election judge. You can't do it. I said, we have officials over there. She can't read. I said, that's okay. We have election officials over here. She'll go, she will read. They will read for her. But I said, I'm not going to let you do it. You damn. I said, you can say whatever you want. But I'm not going to let you go in and vote with somebody.
Right.
Not allowed to do that.
Right. That's, it's silent displays of power that have helped advance the cause for the most vulnerable in our society. You are specifically passionate, the way I've heard and learned in this time about advancing the causes for vulnerable women. Mm-hmm. Before we get to that, I want to talk a little bit about another gig that you had. I won't call it a gig, but it was a general contracting position that you inadvertently ended up with. And now when we think of women in our society, especially Punjabi culture, you don't think of someone as a general contractor, but you worked on a very special project, jo hale bhi North Carolina, this is area, the Sikh community li bahut maine rakhda hai. Tell us about the Gurdwara Sahib.
When Johnston County aaya na, my husband rented a office space from somebody. He had his medical practice, very small little office. So we decided we should build our own office. So we got a piece of land, it's a small place, so everything was not difficult. And then we didn't even have an architect. We had a draftsman who I drew, exam rooms, X-ray room, the waiting room, all that. I drew all that. Told him this is what we want. So he drew it. And I said, how do I go about building it? He says, there's this guy who was not a builder, he was a carpenter, and then you can hire brick mason, you can do. So, basically I hired everybody.
And you were the general contractor.
I was the general contractor.
But you did this not once, but twice.
So I did that, and then, we are going to have the opening of the office. You can't have the opening. Everything has to be, every time one project is done, it has to be inspected. So I go down to the office and I say, I need an inspector to come. This is finished. The building is ready. And the guy said, we can't come. The next 2 days we'll come. I said, listen, my husband's other office lease is finishing. He has to start work over here. And don't tell me you cannot come and inspect it. So the guy is looking at me, not that it's a woman, it's a foreign woman. Telling him that. And I said, 1st of April is coming. I want this done before the 30th of March. You can't be serious. I said, yes, I'm serious. And I said, if you don't come, I'm going to a county commissioner.
Wow.
So the place was
inspected.
And the office started. And the local newspaper, the Raleigh News and Observer, had Smithfield Herald. The reporter wanted to come and do a story. So, of course, a Sikh doctor's office, no smoking signs.
Of course.
But that's tobacco country.
Oh.
Johnston County.
Yes.
Everybody's smoking.
Yes.
And the reporter said, what's with these signs? I said, I think his name was Peter Hull, if I'm not wrong. I said, this is a doctor's office. Sick people come here.
You shouldn't be smoking anyways.
They should not be polluting the air. Right. If they want to smoke, they can go outside. So he says, Indian doctor opens office in Johnston County with no smoking signs.
Wow, what a headline.
So, I look back and I don't see these things as restrictions, but hurdles I came over without any problem. Because I'm not breaking the law. I'm just asserting the law.
Tell us about the Gurdwara Sahib and that project, because once again, you were from the beginning and so closely involved. And I'll bring up again once, that general contracting role that you played.
We came from New York in 1975. We had a very small community, just people scattered, 4 or 5 families, all the way from the East Coast to the West Coast, So there was already a organization. And they didn't have a physical building, but they met in people's homes 3-4 times a year. And people would come from North Carolina, South Carolina. They'd get together at night, have a big party. In the morning, half of them who are awake, they can get together, put on Surjan Singh's Kirtan, black tawa, and listen to the Kirtan. And then Ardas, there was one little bit a person who was a little bit more learned, so he could do the Ardas. And then langar, and just a good time. That's what it was. So we drove 3 hours to get to that place. We wanted to go and...
Of course.
So we go there and we meet everybody for the first time, and the host says, "Andar aao ji, baitho ji, cha pee lo, breakfast." See, we stopped at McDonald's, we are done, we just want to go there and whatever we've come for. So there's one Sardar Sahib sitting on Maharaj the Tabya, and this tape is on, not tape, but the gramophone is on. Slowly, other people start coming in, they sit down and everybody starts talking. So we are sitting there, I grew up in a very devout house and we learned Kirtan, and even in New York we attended Gurdwara, and all I knew was that when there's Kirtan going on or you're sitting in presence of Guru Maharaj, you don't talk and all that. So after about few minutes, I got up, I turned the gramophone off.
Oh my goodness.
So, मैं कहा जी मेरा नाम परमिंदर कौर है, ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਹੁਣੇ move ਕੀਤੇ ਆ, we have just we found out there's a program and we've driven 3 hours to come over here. So, I know everybody's seen everybody after a long time, we want to talk, so let's finish talking. When we finish talking, we'll turn the Kirtan on.
Wow.
And they said, नहीं जी गल्ला नहीं करते, अपन कीर्तन सुनते हैं. So, and my husband is sitting like this with his hand down. So, Kirtan over, Ardas over, Prashad over, then my husband got up and he said, I want to apologize on my behalf of my wife. Because we were guests over here and she shouldn't have done that. But I don't blame her, because there's a decorum and there is Guru Maharaj da Prakash. So everybody kind of got a wind of Parminder Kaur is a tough nut to. So then, meeting in our own home, we had set up a big room and wari saaryan de gharan ch kirtan hunde si. Then we decided we should get a piece of land, and again problems. It's a big state, 300 miles by 100 miles, big state. Uthe nahi banana, ode ghar de nede, ultimately the realtor told us that this happens in churches also. So if few people can buy the land and donate it, it'll be acceptable. So there was this organization already, where they didn't have a physical thing, but it was a registered organization under which they were running these. So we said, okay, we were part of that organization, we were trustees, but there was voting and electioneering and all that. So we decided to donate the land, and the 3 families who donated, we put a condition. We are donating the land with the condition that there'll be no electioneering, there'll be no membership or trusteeship fee, that all the trustees and the office holders will be following the wrath of Guru Gobind Singh. We'll be following the definition of a Sikh, and no kurahat. They don't have to be Amritari, but no alcohol, no smoking, no nothing. And they have to be citizens of America, and they have to be long-standing residents of North Carolina. So the 2 or 3 people who were the Chaudharies of that place, they said, we will not accept any conditional offer. No conditional donation. If you want to donate the land, but you can't put conditions. So we said, okay, if you don't want the thing, these are the conditions. We took the land back.
Wow.
We had already deeded it. We took the land back. Overnight, we created this organization.
Wow.
And the next day, we went and registered it as a 501c3 organization.
Ji.
So that is how the Sikh Gurdwara of North Carolina came up.
And even today, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ some of the ways that it's structured.
It's structured. There's no election. There is no trusteeship fee. There is no membership fee. It doesn't matter how much money you have. You cannot have control in the Gurdwara. You have to, the definition of the Sikh, and no kurahat, no smoking, drinking, nothing like that, and believe in the definition of a Sikh of I believe in the 10 Guru Granth Sahib, Guru Gobind Singh, the Khande Bate di Paul. मैं होर किसे धर्म विच यकीन नहीं रखदा. आने के भी मैं क्रिश्चियन भी हाँ, ते मुसलमान भी हाँ, ते सिख भी हाँ. No, only one.
Who was the first president?
I was the first president.
How was that? Whole experience बारे सानू दसो.
Well, it was like nothing. It was just like we already had the rules, and everybody was so excited about having this. And we finished the Gurdwara in 2.5 years. We went and borrowed the money on personal, co-signing, and we had collected enough money. And how we collected money was we assigned everybody कि तुसी किन्ने 10,000 डोनेट करने ने या 20,000 डोनेट करने ने या 50,000 पर तुसी पेमेंट 10 सालां च करनी है. So they pledged that. We took the pledges to the bank. So the bank knew that this is how much money we have coming every month. And till today, this is how we operate.
Wow.
We don't keep money in the Gurdwara. We have no money in the Gurdwara. We have a buffer to pay our paisabs and all that, but we do not accumulate money in the Gurdwara. Because wherever there is money, I have seen, there is fight.
Of course. Yeah.
So now what happens is कि जी बच्चों का playground बनाना है, इन्ने $1,000 लगने ने, फटाफट everybody donates.
Wow.
Project is done, no worry.
बच्चियां उत्ते खास focus रखे. Even in the representation of the Gurdwara's leadership, there is a place for the youth. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, we have 20 trustees. Their term is 5 years each. And after 5 years, the trustee, it's on rotation. They come off and 5 new ones come. And we have 2 youth reps. The senior youth rep joins as a junior in high school, and then when he becomes a senior, the next junior joins in. It's boys, girls, everybody. Even amongst the 20 trustees, half of us are women.
Wow. That's, I think, something that jo sade baki gurdware han, a lot of them can learn from this model.
Yeah.
जो गुरुद्वारियां ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ election ਦੀ ਇਹ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਇੱਕ condition ਸੀ, what prompted that? Was there something that you saw previously
that
you wanted
we were
to
in New York one day. We used to go to the Gurdwara there. ਉਦੋਂ ਅਜੇ ਗਿਆਨੀ ਗੁਰਦੀਪ ਸਿੰਘ ਬਾਅਦ ਚ ਆਏ ਸੀ. ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਰਾਜਾ ਮਰਗਿੰਦਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ. He was the Granthi. He was from the royal family of Patiala. But he had studied music at Yale. He just graduated. And he took up this job. But soon we then got Gyani Gurdeep Singh from Shepherd Bush Gurdwara in London. He came. And uthe dekhya Yogi Harbhajan Singh. He came. He stood on the stage and he was collecting money for something for the Gurdwara. But his language was so crude. And when we looked around in the Gurdwara, we saw that everybody in the congregation was not there from North Carolina, from New York. People had been bussed from Connecticut, Massachusetts, and everywhere. There was going to be election that day. And he said, मैं देखो मेरा ते टाइम हो गया, मेरा हवाई जहाज चलन वाला है, मैंने इतने पैसे इकट्ठे करने ने, ते मैं ते सोचा सी तुसी नोट मार मार के मेरा मुंह तोड़ दोगे. I mean, that was, I remember those words.
Wow.
And I said, this is how Gurdwara is supposed to be. So when we came and we started writing our bylaws. And no elections, equal women, men, it's only...
and no political speeches, right?
Yeah.
So because this is something we see often. I mean, this is New York, this is a very common display.
Yeah.
A lot of politicians, American elected officials come to the Gurdwaras. They use the podium to address the congregation.
When we had Senator Jesse Helms and other people in our home, we got them in our homes for fundraising. We never got them in the Gurdwaras for fundraising. Now we do have, like once in a while, on special programs, the chief of police or the chief of Homeland Security or, the sheriff or somebody to come and,
Of course.
But we do have a lot of programs, interfaith also, like we have people from the Jewish community to come to the Gurdwara.
Of course.
So we talk to them about Sikhi in a class before they come upstairs to the Diwan. Then they come to Diwan, they sit through little bit of the kirtan, then they have langar. We have groups from churches, we have groups of the Hindi Urdu class at NC State and other universities. So the two professors on that class, once a year, their field trip is bringing students to the Gurdwara.
Wow.
And they come to they go to masjid, they go to mandir, then they come to Gurdwara because then they said last stop they'll get langar.